gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, is it not?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. You look good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. Of course, Friday, we take the show on the road, and that's exactly what we've done once again as we head to the Soule Bowl over at United Township, a big game tonight between United Township and Moline. Week 8 of the high school football season is already upon us, so we have plenty to talk about on the show. Later on, we'll have the View from the West boys kind of previewing everything. Nick Welch will be here in a little bit talking about the Panthers as well, some of the United Township players as well. But we start with what looks to be like a couple of blind guys with their sunglasses on. I feel like I'm at a senior citizen home, and like,
wow.
No.
I mean, most people would set up where you look directly into the sun, so I mean that makes sense.
You know, and somebody would be very understanding, like a Scott Harding, not to bring that up as we chat here. I'm trying to make sure that we can hear from Todd here, and I can't find your.
You raise the microphone a little bit.
I might need to.
But we'll get Todd on here in just a second. In fact, let's go with right there. We found it. Anyways, gentlemen, first Scott Harding, athletic director at United Township, year 1.
Correct.
And they haven't run you out yet.
Not
and
yet.
then Todd
Still
Thompson, in enemy territory right now.
Yeah.
And this is your second time on in 2 weeks. I feel like the ratings must have been so high 2 weeks ago that we had you back.
Yeah, it was an interesting interview last week, but this one should be fun. I'm looking forward to this one.
No, it'll be a lot of fun. We have plenty to get to and to talk about here on the show today. I do want to start with Scott, because we'll explain why Todd's here, but United Township, and this Soule Bowl, this place. What's a game? You're new at this. What's a game day like for you? Obviously, week 8 of the season, so you're getting used to it. What's game day like for an athletic director here at United Township?
You know, the Big Six in general, right? Friday nights are fun. I mean, they just are. Communities are so involved. You get a lot of people at the games. Obviously, it works out well when it's somebody within the Quad Cities that we're playing, right? Whether it's Moline or Rock Island. It's an exciting little electricity around the building. We have a half day of school today with some pre-ACT stuff, so the kids are fired up. Seniors aren't in class today. We got a lot of stuff going on tonight at the game. We let Todd in for a little bit here early. We'll kick him out here in a minute. We do offer shuttle buses. We have those at night for the game. We were going to let him shuttle in today because I wasn't going to let him park in here. We let him come in here today. So it would be nice before the game starts to him.
No, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good show, too, as well. I do want to mention Mobile Party Experience. You can see behind us. He grills up. He's going to feed some of the guys that comes over here. Our good friend Andy Furman from Godfathers just brought some pizzas. So I'm going to waddle out of here in about 2 hours after I've eaten too much food. But talk about this rivalry before we get rocking and rolling with the bare bones of what we want to talk about. It's a fun rivalry, and you two have seemed to embrace it. Todd, talk about, there's so many great ones in the Western Big Six. We were just over at Moline for Rocky Moline, and we know the rivalry between there. This one's a fun one and a big one as well, too.
It is. I mean, we know that we're going to get UT's best, tonight. I think we always seem to, out of those games, when one side either they're favored or we're favored, the other team is always just going to show up and obviously make that a very competitive game. So we're expecting a close one tonight. And between him and I, it's always fun. I've been lucky enough to obviously know Scott from, Brock coming through and playing basketball and things like that. And Shannon is our booster president. So they've been close to, this position ever since I've gotten here. So it's been great. It'll be fun. And hopefully we can see Scott at Wharton Fieldhouse serving some popcorn.
This is fun. We're going to do we're going to have a little wager between the two athletic directors, which I think is amazing. Scott, talk about the rivalry, because you've been on every side of it. You've been on every side of every rivalry, I think, in the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, both sides of the river.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously, you had have some Moline love. I mean, your son won a state championship for the basketball program.
For sure.
So
no, for sure, and that was an unbelievable experience. And rivalry-wise, that's what I really feel like. It's more community driven, right? I mean, when the teams show up, they're playing for their team, right? They're going to show up. Coach Morrissey will have his guys prepared. Obviously, I know Coach Welch will have his guys prepared. They're going to show up in battle for 4 quarters, whatever sport that might be. What makes it unique is the closeness to both communities, right? I mean, literally 3 miles down the street, right? Both schools separated. We joked around about calling it the Battle of the Avenue. I mean, both schools are on Avenue of the Cities. It's just it's a unique situation that you don't see all around the state, and it allows this to just be a big event, right? And people will be fired up. It'll just be a great environment tonight.
I know that you guys have fun with it, and I think it's a respectful rivalry, but there are coaches that don't even mention the other school, and vice versa. It's a friendly rivalry, but it's a extremely competitive one, Todd. Is that a safe way to say it? It's not.
Yeah.
I don't want to say sometimes it gets over competitive, but
No, I think there's no doubt that we both want to win. We talked about this with, even the games that have led up to this where, we want to win. When we play UT, we definitely want to win. We don't ever want to see the Panthers beat the Maroons. But at the same time, after that's over, moving into the postseason and things like that, that's where it does become, we want to see what's best for the Western Big Six and those teams. We want to see them be successful in the postseason. As long as they're not playing us, we'll be fine with that.
all right. Well, we've had too much fun talking about niceness. Let's talk about why we're here and all of those kind of things, because there is a rivalry, and this is who made the graphic. I'm impressed with just the artwork when it comes to the
Do
battle.
you really want to tell them?
No, I won't tell them. I won't tell you. Well, I mean, I made it. We'll just say I made that graphic.
But that's-
I made it.
And so the thought process of the Avenue makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
So I think
Yep.
that's kind of where it comes from. Have you guys map quested? I map questing because I'm old. I guess Google Maps is what younger people do. I map quested when younger. What is the mileage? Do we know from one to another?
I mean, I'm pretty
It's
sure
gotta
we
be,
own it.
It's got to be 3 miles, less
Does
than 3
Moline
miles,
own
right?
the Avenue of the Cities?
Well, let's see. If it's 3.5
Does
miles,
Moline-
we own from here to Moline. If it's 3.5, 2.5 are in United Township, East Moline area.
You
So
don't
you
know
do
that.
own.
You don't know this,
No,
do
I
you?
said no. It's and I didn't use MapQuest. It's called Google Maps.
I just
It is 2025.
I called myself out
No,
because
I know
I
you
knew
did.
you
I
were
just wanted to
gonna-
reiterate the fact that you were right on calling yourself out.
my kids say MapQuest to my kids, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Phone book?
Let me explain
What?
what a VHS tape is and all that kind of stuff.
That was when I emailed you today at AOL.com. I wondered what that was.
I'm still the guy with the Hotmail.
Yeah, but no, it is. It is. And Todd and I, obviously, we're not going to block your tackle tonight. And he's lucky that we're not, because that would not go well for him. But we aren't going to do that tonight. But it is, for 4 quarters, we want to beat the absolute you-know-what out of them, and they want to do the same thing. And then afterwards, him and I are going to talk, I'm sure, like we always do.
Let's talk about what we're wagering / putting on the line. First off, the thought process, because you were a couple weeks ago. You were on.
Yep.
We had a few ideas. How did the thought process go? Was it hard? Did you guys have idea that got nixed by the other over and over again, or kind of take me through how this went?
No, I mean, it was. We've been talking about this for a while. We just think it'll be, something that, not that, like you said, we definitely want to win the game, but our kids practice with their kids in the off seasons and open gyms and clubs and different things like that. There's actually some friendliness there. Like he said, when we're on the field, we're gonna want to beat the other one pretty bad. But it's the same thing with us. Our communities know each other. We're good friends. I feel so. Maybe he doesn't, but I feel. But at the same time,
Do I need to start reading text messages?
you
Because you guys are
don't.
being way
No,
too nice to each
don't
other
read
right
those
now.
text
no,
messages.
but
Being way too nice to each other right now.
PC.
But it'll be a fun rivalry that anytime that we can put the other one in the other team's gear and put them out in front of the community and maybe make them do a little work for us, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, so what is on the line?
So,
Scott, explain it.
December 5th, when you come to the Panther Den, we'll be playing Moline there, and you'll see Mr. Thompson in the concession stand of the sophomore basketball game in UT gear, selling popcorn and peanuts for us.
So okay, and so what happens? Let's say Moline wins tonight.
Well, when Moline wins
Let's
tonight.
just say what we said already. December 5th, Mr. Thompson will be in there.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't look for me because I'm not going to be there. However,
Counters are 5'4".
oh, ouch. Yeah. Well, it's okay. We have We have ADA ramps because I know Scott's getting a little older and might need some help walking.
There we go.
Walking
Now
up
we're loosening up a little
to
bit.
might need to walk up to Wharton Field House. So we're good to go. But yeah, he'll be in there and he'll be front stage. With everything you need if you make him work. Make him.
So
the
the loser has to work the other team's concession stand for the sophomore basketball
I
game
love that.
on the road.
I absolutely love
And
the
wear
other
their
team's gear.
So what we'll do we'll make sure that we'll make sure we
be at the
promote
Panther
that.
Den December 5th.
We'll make
is
sure we
what you'll
promote the
do.
heck out of that. We're going to put this all over social media so people know about it as well. Let's talk about tonight's game, and we'll start. I think Scott with the home team because and I think everyone knew going into the season, and I love what Nick Welch has done with this program, and we've documented that and talked about it. It was high expectations, and this team, I mean, ifs and buts, I guess, but like it's 3-4 plays away from being undefeated. I mean, some heartbreaking losses throughout the year. I think Coach has done a great job of keeping these guys focused. A big win last week. What have you seen from this team this year and that head coach? Because they've had trials and tribulations. I think they've done pretty well with them.
They have, and Coach Welch does a great job with the buy-in, right? The guys are in there all summer, obviously, like everybody is, but to the numbers that have grown in this program, the buy-in that he gets from the whole community. Obviously, the players, it starts there, but you got to have the community buy-in too. If the kid goes home for dinner and he's hearing all the negatives from the mom and dad about what coach is, and we don't have that. We got great community support. And this year specifically, obviously, we've had some close games, but you lost, right? So it is what it is there. We're still there making that next step, and we're not where we want to be. You never are, right? You're never satisfied, but I know tonight they'll be competitive. They'll show up. They're prepared, and our goal is to have more points than them at the end of the night. And Coach Welch and his staff do a great job of preparing our kids. So I'm looking forward to it.
Todd, you look at Moline and obviously that week 1 loss, but since then nothing but victories. They seem to be playing really well on both sides of the football, and especially on the defensive side. I don't think we talk enough about the defensive side. Greg or Mitch, one of them I talked to the other day, I think they've given up like 10 points in the last 3 weeks. Something crazy like that, 14 points in the last 3 weeks, something. What do you like about what you've seen from this team, and what do you expect tonight?
Well, I just think they're getting better week to week to week. Coach Sandamore is, like you said, doing an amazing job with that defense. Both sides of the ball, the offense is getting better. I think that first week we had some turnovers that maybe cost us in some different with a sophomore first varsity game for Moline quarterback, and Ponder's been nothing but getting better. I think the coaching staff is kind of putting people in positions where they can be successful, and the defense just I think they're getting more confident every week with just being aggressive and getting those turnovers, making the offensive side of the ball a little bit easier.
I want to flip it. And Scott, I want you to, what have you seen, and obviously you're not at every Moline game and all that, but what do you see from Moline and that program and that handsome head coach, Mike Morrissey?
What is the thing that him and Nick talk about? His legs? Is that what it is?
Well, he shaves his legs.
Shaves his legs. Yeah. So I do see that, the sheen on his legs. Is that
So
what
and I do every time. I should preference this more because it makes us look a little weird. Several years ago, one of the media stations, not my own that I was running, I don't have one, but the one that I was working for,
Unemployed.
did a yeah, right. That's so true. Nobody to answer to though. That's the beauty part.
True.
So I
Well,
can
yeah,
tell
you
you,
do.
Mike
You make
off
that-
if I want to. No, I'm just kidding. So they did a story on Mike Morrissey being the best looking coach in the Quad Cities. And we've ran with that as fast as
that
we
is
can.
right.
And I don't understand, a lot of times you have to cite sources.
Is that during COVID?
A lot of times no, it wasn't. A lot of times you have to cite sources. There was no sources cited. It just was that everyone thinks he's the best. So anyways, we've given him a hard time, but he does shave. So anyways, besides the glare off his legs, he does a good job
They do
coaching.
a great job, obviously.
I love
They
you,
do.
Mike, by the way.
He does a great job. Their program's a really good program, obviously, year in and year out. So they're nothing but respect that way. Obviously, we want to kick their every Friday night, but they do a great job over there.
Yeah, over here, just kind of look at what Nick Welch does, and I think he's a handsome fella too. Everyone look. I'm
not going to comment.
I'm probably talking too much about.
What show are we on right now?
Well, I
Questionable.
told you the copyright. No, I won't get into that whole story. But right, your thoughts on what United Township has done over the last several years?
Well, just seeing where they came from when he, kind of took over the program, and when I started paying a little bit more attention to, football in the Western Big Six and not just the wrestling mat. So it was just seeing what he's done with the program, like Scott talked about, the numbers and the buy-in and the things like that. We've had that luckily in our program for quite a while, and you can start to see that's happening here. And I agree that they should be probably undefeated coming into this game in the Western Big Six, but it's like you said, learning things for them, and I know that Nick's going to kind of make those adjustments. But tonight, I should say, is going to be. He's probably been preparing for this one for a while. I think both coaches are, they communicate quite a bit.
And before I get the phone calls from John Schlemmer and Quincy and Geneseo, they won those football games. I'm not taking anything away from what they did as well, because they had good games as well. Before I get you guys' picks for tonight's game, I want exact scores. So think in your head like the scores, and I want everything. Can you critique his first year as an AD?
Oh, God, I got to be nice to him some more.
No, you don't have to be. Like,
I
threw you that. So
I know.
I know. Fully expect, and obviously you guys have known each other for a while. This is his first year. During last year, every time I was on the show, I'd ask a UT coach, like, "Are we sure about this? Like, are we sure this is where we want to go?"
We're not still not sure.
Okay, so just like watching, you've known the guy, obviously, unfortunately, or obviously one of the two. What have you thought about the way he's kind of done things here at United Township so far?
I mean, there's certain aspects of the job that I do believe that he was well prepared for, with all the coaching things and stuff like that. There's the backside of the job where you're sitting in front of a computer and you're having to deal with a lot of different things that you might not have ever seen before. So he's getting better and better at that every week. I guess my phone rings less, so that's good. And I was the same way. Like, I'll be honest, I reached out to Bam Postelnik a lot. Bam Postelnik reached out to Todd Rosendahl a lot, and that's just the way it works.
We have had some short ADs in the Western Big Six.
We had Kanar in there for a while that kind of
evens it out.
It threw off the average, so that was good. But besides that, we've been.
No, Todd's been great. He's helped me out a ton with stuff. Yeah.
How have you obviously enjoying the heck out of it, and I hate giving compliments to any Harding that's not named Brock or Brody. I should say Shannon too.
I was going to say,
but basically I don't
I'm with you on all three.
Basically I don't like you.
Same.
What's it been like? How have you felt like you've done?
We done?
No, not yet. Not yet. How do you felt like you've done? Like, what's it been like? What's the biggest transition?
I don't know how I've done, but I enjoy it.
I
enjoy it.
Yeah,
I enjoy it, and I do. And I honestly, like tonight's game, right? It's just fun. Like, I love high school athletics, right? So it'll be a fun environment, great weather. Like, that makes it fun. It does. And seeing and watching kids compete, I mean, it just is. So I enjoy the heck out of it. Obviously, I have a great administration that makes things super, super easy for me. But no, it's been fun, and Todd's been great. I mean, I can reach out to him with a lot of goofy things. I'm like, hey, I had one this morning. I'm like, he's like, yeah, this is what. Well, actually, he's like, Sylvia.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
I talked to the real boss.
Yeah. So, but no, it's been great so far. So I've enjoyed the heck out of it.
And I'll say this too, and I've said it about Moline and United Township being nice and serious now, is that like your jobs are done because of the coaches that you have. And I've told people recently, like, you look at United Township inside the building, and coach after coach after coach is like, home run, doing a fantastic job. Same thing in Moline. The coaches that are in place are doing outstanding jobs. Kind of talk about that, because yes, you guys are the figureheads of this, but pretty lucky. And yes, I mean, you probably hired some of them, but it helps to have good coaches all over the place, doesn't it, Todd?
Well, and we've had like even the longevity of a lot of our coaches. We've had Rick Sanchez there for, I think it's coming on 30 years now, amazing. And he's been successful.
Who's more, him or Alonzo?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
But like the longevity and just I think it's a fun place to coach. We both know that, and my philosophy has always been like, I want to work as hard for my coaches as they do for me. Okay. So, and I think they know that when they come to us and they have questions or they need things done, it's going to happen right away. It's not going to just be like, oh, put them on the back burner. So yes, we run the entire athletic program, but we want to give them as many opportunities for their program to be successful as we can.
All right, boys, it's pick time. I'm going to start with Todd since he's the visitor. Give me a prediction for tonight's Moline United Township game here at beautiful Soule Bowl, and give me the final score.
Well, I'm going to surprisingly select Moline to win this game.
You are?
Yeah.
That would have been pretty good if you would have been like, I like you too.
Sorry.
Let's get it done.
I think, this is tough. It'll be closer than I think people are.
I agree.
I think I'm going to go 40-24 Maroons.
40-24. So we have ourselves a 16-point victory. Look at the math that I did. That's an element advantage that I have.
That's surprising.
Quiet.
Oh.
Quiet.
Okay,
enough. Mr. Harding, the floor is yours.
So you took Moline.
Yes.
40-24. And how many points is that, did you say?
16.
16, math major. Yeah, that's a lot of points.
Ambrose, too.
That's a lot of points. Ambrose myself.
Advantage,
yeah. Well, I mean, so I've gonna probably not go that way, right? I talked to my good buddy Kirk Herbstreet and Lee Corso.
You guys close?
Yeah, Lee was going to come in tonight, so he brought this for me. So I was going to make Thompson wear it, but I'm not.
I can't see me now.
Now we can't see Thompson. That's the goal there. So we're going to go with the Panthers tonight.
You're not going to put that on like Corso?
No, hey, listen.
Your
That was
head
just
can't
worn
fit in there. There's no way your head fits in there.
Hey, that was just worn at the homecoming parade by one of our students, and I'm not sure it's been disinfected, so I'm not putting that on. I would not make Mr. Thompson put that on, but he might wear that in the concession stand on December 5th when we win 34-20.
34-20. So not as close as anybody thought it would be. I'm impressed. So again, if you're just tuning in, where have you been? We have a friendly wager between the United Township and Moline head coaches.
That's pretty good.
Athletic coaches, excuse me.
Hey, speaking of shirts, though. Speaking of shirts, underneath.
We're coming back again.
Underneath this, I actually have a playoff shirt from last year. So,
do you want to talk about the past?
I'm just saying,
so we're going to talk about the.
Well,
so
I'm just hoping if you do make the playoffs for the first time in how many ever years that I can hook you up with a shirt company, because I know it hasn't happened.
It's got to be
Have we thought about an athletic director podcast?
They wouldn't want that.
No.
We wouldn't have any sponsors.
Zero
You'd be surprised what people will watch. Trust me.
Well, you're right. You said you had 7 followers for the.
Too many. Like I think Jen used to watch. No, Jen's never watched. Like, and good thing the other day, like anger took me down the wife road, and he started like complaining about his wife, and then I started complaining about my wife, and I realized like we're doing this, and people are watching it. You know what I mean? Like I sometimes forget. You get in that comfort zone where you're like, oh crap, there was a camera there. So luckily she knows nothing about it because she has taste. Doesn't watch this nonsense. So boys, I appreciate it. Again, the losing athletic director will be working
December 5th,
sessions
Panther Den.
at the sophomore game basketball wise, and we'll do this again in basketball season and come up with any other ideas.
We got some other things that we're doing. There's some things that aren't going to be.
So how many are we doing? 3 of these? Are we doing 3 of these, or how many have we decided?
I think it'll go per season, so we will do obviously fall, winter, and spring, and we'll carry it over to the next spring on the loser of the bet.
And we do have a traveling trophy to be an Avenue of the City's street sign.
Yeah, so if you interview me in my office,
come in the office, it'll
be
hung up. Actually, when you come over the 5th of December, I
love everything about this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a commercial break. It's going to take me a second to turn your microphones off. So when I go to the commercial break,
he's warning us.
Right? So you're welcome. I got to click off before we hear the. Like I don't want Hungry Hobo, and then all of a sudden you dropping something that.
This could be an intro to our real podcast.
We've got a lot more to get to. Coming up after the break, we're going to be joined by the boys from View from the West from last night. It's pre-recorded, but we're going to break down everything when it comes to high school football. Later in the show, Nick Welch will be here. We got some Panther players coming over. We're grilling. We got Godfather's Pizza. I should have done this a long time ago. Well, you're watching Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We will be back as soon as I find my commercial break. If I can find my commercial break.
Are you blinded by the sun?
Guys, do you see it? Yeah, there you go. right after this. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfathers is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. It's Friday. It's the tradition. The family's back together again, although we left Mitch out last week. I thought for sure you were going to come out for the live show, Mitch. What happened?
Well, you also left me out on your show yesterday, and I'm home all day, and here I am watching your show,
Greg.
And I could have been on it, but nope, just sitting at home watching Greg and watching Ty, and I'm just there.
Greg,
no big deal.
You at no point said, hey, how about we give Mitch a call? I thought you worked like a real job.
I do, and I'm currently furloughed, so I do and I don't at the moment.
Oh, well, it sounds like next week is Off the Air with Mitch. I'm taking the week off, baby.
I could be live with you any day at any hour you like.
Wow, that's interesting. Noted, duly noted. Instead, I settled for Greg, and I'm a Mitch guy. What was I thinking? What was I even thinking? It's week 8 of the high school football season, boys, and it's a big week. Some really good matchups all over the place. I usually start with the Western Big Six, and we're at the Soule Bowl right now. I know we're not there because of the magic of recording, but I'm going to start in the track because I feel like I have to. And I asked Ty a good question yesterday, I thought, to applaud myself. Who's the favorite tonight between Rock Ridge and Monmouth Roseville? I'll start with Mitch.
Yeah, I liked Ty's answer. That it's a
toss-up.
And yeah, the cop-out answer is that it's a toss-up. And it's because you have two teams that are coming into this game with identical records, but playing the game on different styles. You have a Monmouth Roseville team with two massive lines. You have an incredibly big offensive line, same on the defensive line. And they just pave the way for a rushing attack that no one has stopped this year. Conversely, on the Rock Ridge side, you have one of the best quarterbacks that we cover in the area in Colin Schweigen, who could beat you with his legs. He can beat you with his arms. He's got weapons all around him. And they've got a fast defense. So it's that traditional size versus speed matchup in this game tonight. So I don't know. You've got Rock Ridge at home. They're the number one team in 2A. Maybe they would be favorites on paper. I expect this game to be really, really hard hitting. We'll see some big plays. Greg, if you're shooting this game tonight, I fully expect you to have some great highlights. I can't wait to listen to this and see who comes out on top.
Okay, Greg, Mitch spent a minute, 2 minutes not giving us an answer. Will you give us an answer?
Okay, how about Eileen? Dazzo, you're more of the gambler in the room. So what in college or what in NFL does the home team always get?
3 points.
You know, always like a 1.5?
They get 3 points, 2.5, 3 points, something like that to give them to the home team.
So I would say in high school, you maybe lower it a little bit. So I would say like maybe you say Rock Ridge is a favorite by like a 1.5, but really in all reality, it's a pick'em game.
Oh.
But you give
Pick'em?
a pick'em.
Proceed. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
So would you say you lean slightly towards Rock Ridge as the favorite? Now, I'm not saying that's my favorite. I'm just saying that if you're asking about like how you'd set, going into a game, that's what I would say because they're the home team. You give them that slight edge.
Yeah, I go back to the fact that like they're the number one ranked team in the state in 2A and they're at home. It's hard for them to be the under. Now they're playing a 3A team, so I get all that and everything. When is Monmouth Roseville going to get ranked? I don't understand that exactly.
I've tried.
I don't understand how they. I don't understand how they dropped out of the top 10. That's pretty incredible to me, really.
Yeah, I mean it's an insult, but I would continue if I'm Jeremy Adolphson to use that as fuel to the fire to hopefully motivate. So, anyways, tonight's matchup, Mitch kind of talked about it a little bit. Greg, it is an intriguing matchup because it's two differing styles of two really good football teams. Are you heading out there?
Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there tonight. So it's a little tricky. My son it's tricky, but it also kind of works out in my favor that Central's on the road, but they're in Muscatine. So I can be at my son's game at 5. I may have to duck out a few minutes early. May not stick around for the whole game, but I could still get to Rock Ridge right at about kickoff. So,
man, I might join you, Greg.
Do you want to be an intern?
I might. Can I carry your battery or time codes?
Wow, who's the assistant?
Nobody does time codes anymore, do they?
No. I used to have.
I used to have still does.
Maybe. And time codes still run on the camera. I used to have my son write down the clip ID, but even that now I'm just this is getting way into the weeds. I'll mark color bars and then I'll recognize it when I get back to edit. So anyway.
No, I get you. Well, I think it's good. What's in this game? I guess we'll go back to the original question. What's two really good teams that do exactly what they do so well? What's the difference in this game?
Well, I think the question that I want to see answered is, can Rock Ridge keep up for 4 quarters with the power and the strength of Monmouth Roseville? And can Monmouth Roseville find a way? Jeremy Adolphson said it, that he thinks there might be 6 players on the field for Rock Ridge at all times that are faster than their fastest guy. He wasn't afraid to say it because he knows that their team does things a little bit differently, so they don't need to rely on the speed. But I guess my question becomes, can they avoid getting burned by that speed too many times, right? Sure, Colin Schweigen might get his, and he'll make a few plays along the way, but can you avoid, several plays that start to add up as big chunk plays, as those big, exciting plays? Because then in that case, that's where Monmouth Roseville would be in trouble, when that speed starts to dictate the game. So I think it's the power versus the speed, and that's the question I want to see answered.
Greg brings up explosives, and I think that goes both ways, and who gets more explosive plays. But I think Monmouth Roseville with that running game can have some explosive plays as well. Mitch, what's the difference in this game? What are the keys to this game for both teams?
I think for Rock Ridge, if they can make Monmouth Roseville have to pass, I think that could be a big indicator, right? Monmouth Roseville isn't built like a team that can come from. Rock Ridge is and has done that. They did that against Princeton in that big game earlier this year. Schweigen can sling it. He can get that team back into a winning position, whereas Monmouth Roseville, they throw the ball a little bit, but they haven't been in that position where they need to throw. So if Rock Ridge can get up 2 scores, that might be the difference. So I think Rock Ridge defense is what will win this game for the Rockets, if they can contain, or if that offense can give them a lead to work with.
Okay, boys. The time for talk is over. The time for picks are here, and I'm scared. I'm scared to offend some team. I know you guys aren't. So I'll start with you guys, and then I'll give mine. I think Mitch kind of gave it away a little bit, but what do you got, Mitch? We'll start with you.
Yeah, I talked myself into this while we were recording our show that dropped last Tuesday. I did pick Rock Ridge. I think that they are built to win a game like this. I do like them at home. I just think that they could – the scenario I just talked about, I think Rock Ridge could get up to a 2-score lead, and that might be too much for Monmouth Roseville to get back into the game. I could be very wrong. I have my shield ready for the Monmouth players and coaches to come after me, but it truly is a toss-up. And again, I kind of talked myself into Rock Ridge, so I'm sticking with the Rockets tonight.
Greg, there's no easier way to put this. Who are you ticking off? Who are you making mad?
I got a lot of friends in the Rock Ridge area, and they're going to be there, and I'm going to have to face them, face to face, but I'm picking Monmouth Roseville. I think they get the win on the road at the Rockets. I really like the way that they can grind, they can wear down a team, and I think that even if you get some of those explosive plays from the Rockets, I think that Monmouth Roseville can really grind it out, and they're going to have a few explosive plays of their own, right? They're going to have as the game goes on, I think they're gonna find some holes. They're gonna find some seams because they just continue to grind and charge downfield. I'm gonna go Titans in this one.
So you're telling me I'm the tiebreaker? That makes it even worse. It makes it even. So here's what I'm thinking, and this is probably wrong. And I do live in the Rockridge area, and they could slash my tires. I don't think they will. Bottom line is, whoever we have on tonight is going to be on. If whoever I pick against is going to be on the show tonight, so they probably want me to not pick them. But I look at, and it's a bad way to make picks, but I look at Princeton. And I look at them and the way they played against Rockridge, and Rockridge needed a really impressive comeback to win that game. On the flip side, Monmouth Roseville went to Princeton and they dominated that football game. And I think Monmouth Roseville right now, the way they're playing and the people still not thinking they're good, not doubting them, they're not ranked. I mean, good God, they're in the track, they're in 3A, they're 7-0, and they're not ranked right now. That's crazy. So with that being said, I'm going to pick Monmouth Roseville, also because I picked against them earlier this year and it bit me in the butt. So I will go Titans. I will be ready to I'll tell you, everybody, this, if this will help. My wife's a Rockridge grad and she's picking the Rockets. So if that helps, our household's divided, but I'm going to go Titans. It should be a great game. And as Greg said, he'll be at the game. I might join him. We'll have some video on the Instant Reacts tonight, and we'll talk all about it and probably hear from a happy head coach, whether it's Sam Graves at a nice house or if it's Jeremy Adolphson driving down the road at 67 honking his horn, however he's going to do it. Go ahead, Mitch.
And we talked about this on our episode that dropped on Thursday with Seuss about current playoff projections. And this is a big game for Rockridge for the 2A North, because if the brackets kind of fall the way that he suggested, what did he say, Greg? There could be 6 undefeated teams in 2A North or something like that. So
just in North alone,
Rockridge coming in the 2A North alone. So even Rockridge, again, let's play just devil's advocate. If they were to lose this and go into the playoffs at 8-1, they could be on the road, and that's an insane thing to think about. So huge game for Rockridge and for Monmouth Roseville, certainly for playoff seedings. But that 2A North bracket is going to be really, really good.
It is crazy because they don't look at rankings. They look at just records. And so those records will get you to where you need to be. Man, can you imagine being on the road after this season for Rockridge? It's going to be a fantastic game. You can check the game out on WRMJ, old school wise. Jim Taylor going back to do that game. And then, of course, we'll talk all about it on Instant Reaction show later on. I think it's going to be a big
Rockridge, or Ty Taylor also took Rockridge, for the record.
I was wondering because he was skittish today. He wouldn't make a pick. So
now the picks are already out there on WRMJ.com right now, so we can reveal.
So it is Rockets,
and this will be a big separation week for our pick'ems with you going against the grain.
So Mitch and Ty have Rockridge. Me and Greg both have. Not that I'm in the picks because I'm not cool
next
enough.
Year.
The three amigos, all you guys, you love it. More like the Three Stooges is what I say. Oh, I'm kidding. Anyways, that was so dumb. I'll edit that part out. Anyways, I want to stay in the Three Rivers for a second because I think it's a big night in Port Byron. Hall's been playing better football. I mean, they won 3 straight and they played well at Princeton last week, but it just sets up to be a special night out in Port Bryan, if you will, but Port Byron, Illinois. Riverdale can get the job done tonight. Greg, you think they do?
Yeah, I think they do. I will say that, Hall makes me a little, if I'm Riverdale, I think Hall worries me a little bit because they seem to be improving. When you look back at, they lost in week 1 to Orion, and Orion has struggled throughout the year. But I think that it seems like Hall has figured some things out as they go. Now, obviously, they got beat against a really good Monmouth Roseville team. We saw that. But, we referenced a lot. They competed against Princeton the week before. So I think that they're an improving team. But I think this Riverdale group is hungry, and this is an opportunity at home to have a really special night. So I picked Riverdale. But I do think that this Hall team is sneaky because they're better than what they were when they started the year.
Mitch, I want Riverdale to do it at home. Do they get it done tonight? Because I think being there at that place will make it even extra special.
I'm assuming this is senior night for the Rams. Yeah, I think they will do it. They played Newman tough last week, and if you look at Hall, yes, they are improved from where they were a year ago. They kind of found their rhythm there in the middle of the season, but they did it against a 2-5 team, a 1-16, and an 0-7 team. So they did get their wins when they should have. Don't have a signature win outside of that. Haven't beaten a team with a winning record. So not taking that away from them. Aiden Redcliffe's been really, really fun to watch this year. This is, Coach Nick Sterling's first season there. So things have improved there, but so have things at Riverdale. I think they will get it done and get back into the playoffs. Even if not, I believe Riverdale gets a win in week 9 and they'll get in at 5-4 at worst, but I think they'll get in at 6-3.
I don't want to get too far down the track. It's a good schedule, good slate. We talk so much about the big game. One last game I kind of want to talk about that intrigues the heck out of me, and it's not, there's no playoffs at stake, but what Sherrard did last week, and the rivalry 10 miles apart. I think that's suddenly a game that maybe didn't look so interesting 3 weeks ago is extremely interesting tonight with Orion and Sherrard. Can Sherrard upset Orion? Greg?
I think they can. Yeah, I definitely think they can. I think when you look around the field and, you see that Carter Brown's there, right? And he's been there throughout the year as kind of their rock, as kind of the, the kid they rely on. But it seems like other pieces are rising up around him. And to get the win at Kewanee is one thing, but to do it the way they did really caught my attention. I think it really caught a lot of our attention. So I think that, there's a lot of confidence there and a lot of momentum. And I think this game is interesting on both sides for Sherrard and Orion because it's a rivalry game, like you mentioned. And so at this point in both of their seasons, like, this is the only game that matters, right? They're not looking at implications for this game to mean anything else other than this game, which I do think, yeah, sure, every team wants to go to the playoffs, but when you're in this kind of situation, there is some excitement in, man, they're going to lay it all out on the line on this game. This game becomes their playoff game or their whatever. That I think that it's an opportunity for one of these teams to to make a mark and leave a positive taste in their mouth for these kids as they get near the end of their season.
Mitch, agree?
I pick Sherrard. Orion's offense just hasn't been the same since it was the first couple weeks of the season, and Sherrard coming in with a little bit of momentum. Yeah, I did pick Sherrard in this one to pick up the win.
It'll be interesting to see. Great slate in the track. Let's get to the Western Big Six. A lighter schedule once again. Alleman not playing a varsity game, forfeiting that. They will have one game out in Geneseo. I mean, we can sit here for another 5 minutes and talk about what we've kind of talked a lot about when it comes to the situation in Alleman. It's unfortunate. I don't know if they can get back for UT. I know they're hoping to add and get a couple more players back that might get healthy. So I really would love to see them play against UT because I think it'll be important for UT if they don't get the job done tonight. So no reason to harp on Alleman. And I did talk to John Furlong on Thursday night, and they've got 6 victories now. Is it? Yeah, 6-2. So, and they finished the season down in Quincy, a winnable game down there as well. So let's look at the rest of the conference. Obviously, we're at the Soule Bowl, and we got 2 guys on the screen that when the season started, one picked Moline to win it all, one picked UT. It's been different the way their journeys have gone. I think it can be a close game tonight. I think UT, the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff, I think it'll be interesting. Mitch, do you think it'll be a closer game than maybe some people from the outside looking in would think?
I don't believe so. And that just has to do with Moline's offense being able to control the line of scrimmage, being able to control the ground game, being able to control the clock. And United's defense just hasn't been there the last 4 weeks, I guess you would say. Tight losses, yes. Games that they were winning, some games they were winning by 2 possessions. And whether it just be stalled offense or whether it was that defense that just kind of led to how those games played out, I don't see it. UT has had a great, I think they've had great momentum and just got stuck in the mud there in the middle of the season. But a nice pickup win against Rock Island last week. I think Moline is just a different beast, and I think that they will come out on top tonight. And essentially, they would share at least a share of the Western Big Six, and I think they would clinch it outright against Galesburg next week. So yeah, I think tonight's Moline's night.
Greg, anything different?
Well, oddly enough, I feel like Mitch, the one who picked UT to win the conference, is saying what he's saying, and me, who picked Moline to win the conference, I feel a little different in this game. I think that, yes, UT has lost some games down the stretch here, but I almost look at the glass half full and say, in those games, if a ball bounces different or a couple things go different, they get one of those wins, or maybe they get two of those wins. And then I think the narrative here is different. The talent is still there that we talked about at the beginning of the season, that people were picking to win the whole conference. I think this is an opportunity for United Township at home to kind of make that statement that they've been so close to making. So I love what Moline's doing. Obviously, that was my pick to win the conference, but I wasn't sure that they would go undefeated through the conference slate. I thought there might be a hiccup along the way. Maybe this is the night. I still think Moline's the best team, and I think they'll win the conference. But on any given night in the Western Big Six, I'm interested to see if UT can kind of rise up.
Are you picking the upset, though?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I just think that we don't make picks in the Big Six.
Okay, well, that's just a cheap way out. With that, we are next year for OTA.
All right.
I was just going to say, Moline's defense has only allowed 14 points the last 4 weeks. And now, granted, that's with the Allman game, so just say they only allowed one score against Geneseo. They only allowed one score against Rock Island. So as much as we talked about maybe UT's defense, maybe Moline's defense is really what wins this game, and they can shut down UT if they keep playing the way that they have been.
No, I would agree. And I think it'll be much closer than what people think. And I think it's one of those things Greg kind of mentioned. You go through that rough stretch and you were so close. You know how you get over being so close 3 straight weeks, and that heartbreak is by beating your arch rival at home in week 8 to clinch your first playoff spot in 25 years. Like that, you forget about everything else. It's that Matt, and they have the time. Now there are injuries they're dealing with, which I think are a big factor in this game. And the other thing to talk about when it comes to that, like Cinderella story I just painted, is Moline's so good. You know what I mean? It's like they're really good. So I kind of agree with Greg where, I think it's going to be a much closer game than people think. I think they're going to be ready to rock. I think that place is going to be electric. I think at the end Moline wins a close game, but I don't think it'll be I don't think it'll be what Moline did to Quincy. I don't think they're going to go over to the Soule Bowl and shut them out and beat them by 30-some points. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it'll be a closer game than what we expect. Elsewhere in the Western Big Six, a game nobody's talking about, Quincy and Sterling is a really good football game. Sterling needing to get back on track after what happened last week at Geneseo. Quincy starting to pile up some victories and putting some things together. I think that's an intriguing matchup, and especially going to Sterling, where John Schlemmer's probably got that young team's attention again after a 31-10 loss last week. Your thoughts on that game? We'll start with Greg.
Yeah, I think this is, Mitch and I talked about it on our Crystal Ball episode leading into week 6, that just this stretch between Quincy, Sterling, and Geneseo, it's really hard to pick these games. These teams seem very equal. And I think that as it plays out, I think they all end up in the playoffs. But, on a week-to-week basis, it's really hard to pick these games. Maybe, again, like I mentioned earlier, you lean Sterling a little bit because they're at home. But I really wanted to see more of their offense last week against Geneseo. Credit to Geneseo. They played really well. They played really good football. So, maybe that's an opportunity for Quincy's offense to really keep moving in the right direction. But I think it's a really good game.
Greg, what do you think? Oh, not Greg. I'm sorry. Mitch, what do you think? Same thing.
Yeah, I think you saw Quincy's offense getting back on track last week. Hunter Schuckman is the leading passer in the Western Big Six. I don't know that Sterling. Well, I don't know. I can tell you that they haven't played an offense that throws the way that Quincy does. Now, Quincy did have a slow start last week against Galesburg. I don't think they scored any points in that first quarter. So if Sterling can get an early lead, maybe that makes this interesting. But I'm with Greg. They didn't have an offensive touchdown last week against Geneseo, and Quincy's kind of coming in with a little bit of momentum here. They do have to go on the road to Sterling. But I'll say Quincy gets the win here, just with that offense and Hunter Schuckman clicking the way that it has the past couple of weeks.
Sure. No, I would agree. It's going to be a good game with both of you guys. I think it'll be a really good game up in Sterling as well. The other game in the Western Big Six that will be played, Rock Island at Galesburg. And I think you look at that game and somebody's really going to want to get their second victory. I think it'll go, especially Galesburg-wise, with a preseason or pre-conference win, and then they got a victory against Alleman. If they could get another one to get to 3 victories, I think it would be a more positive victory for Galesburg, maybe go a little longer way than Rock Island, who's struggling right now, looking for their second victory of the season. LLC, we'll go Mitch, big LLC. What stands out?
LLC large here in week 8. You know, I think it's Wes Hancock. We said a couple weeks ago, look out for the Titans. I think Wes Hancock is going to roll through and finish, I think, 4 straight wins here to end the regular season. They got Bureau Valley tonight. I think they will. I think that'll clinch the playoff spot for them. So that's a big one with playoff implications on the large side. Illini West still has a shot to get in. I think they will beat Monmouth United tonight. It's not a huge slate in the large. Farmington's got LVC. Farmington could put up, we saw what Carson Noy did last week. If Coach Vallis keeps his starters in, they could really put up some serious numbers. But the one that I think, just from a playoff perspective and for conference standings, is West Hancock as they continue to escalate and elevate their season.
I'll stay with Mitch for the small. Do the small as well if there's something that sticks out to you. I know Weathersfield's still undefeated and playing really good football. They go on the road this week.
Yeah, on the road against a struggling Roval Williamsfield team, so I do expect Illinois Weathersfield to get that win. I look at Princeville and Stark County. Princeville played really, really tough against Illinois Weathersfield last week. Stark County started 5-0. They could be looking at 5-4, and still getting in. But what a contrast of your schedule. I have been impressed with Princeville. They've got some really good athletes. They always do. So that's a big one, I think, on the small side to highlight that slate.
Greg, and UIC, what sticks out to you up there in that fantastic conference that wins every state championship every year, it seems like?
Stockton at Duran-Pecatonica. Stockton and Dupec are 2 of the very best in this conference this year, along with Lena Winslow. But this is kind of one of those showdowns we've been waiting for, with Dupec's rushing attack this year has been so potent between their running back, is it Lucas Russell, and Dermot Dolan, are both just a real good 1-2 combination. And on the Stockton side of things, you have, who's the quarterback? Is it Noah Larson, his quarterback?
Yeah, Noah Larson. Lead back is Jack Mensendijk.
Yep. So and they have a few other running backs too as well. They're deep this year. This is a group that Stockton's been looking forward to, and they've answered the call all the way through. Stockton's undefeated. Dupec's only loss is to Byron, a very good 3A school, one of the best 3A schools. So both teams come in with a really good resume. I'm interested. If this game was a little closer to the Quad Cities, I would definitely be making this trip, but I'm excited to see the highlights for that one. Mitch, I'll hand it over to you. The wooden shoe, Fulton at Morrison.
Yes.
Yeah, huge game for the community. Certainly 2 programs that aren't having the types of years that they want. I think Fulton can end their season on a little bit more momentum. They could even get to 4-5. Certainly they'd have to win this one. But yeah, it's regardless of the records, you throw them out. This could be a good game. Morrison's been playing better. Quarterback Carson White has been able to find success through the air. Levi Milder had a big day receiving. We saw Brady Anderson last week getting back on track against Dakota. So this has both teams are healthy. So again, throw out the records. Who cares? it's for a great rivalry trophy. It's great for those communities. It's at Morrison. That'll be an exciting atmosphere, and should be a great game as always.
Do you guys, I'm talking to the viewers, listen to these guys talk high school football? It's like you're watching ESPN's Countdown and they're talking NFL football. Like, I don't know if there's two guys that know more about high school football than you two, and I don't like being nice to either of you. So don't take that as a compliment. Please, I don't want to be that nice. But let's talk about a few things. One, you guys, we're not going to get into the whole playoff thing. I think it's going to be an interesting week next week on proposals and how that go. But I want to let people know that you guys put together, and I listened to it on Thursday afternoon into the evening, a really cool bonus podcast this week, kind of talking about that and educating a lot of people that are wondering, what does this new proposal look like? What might it be like? All those kind of things. Greg came on the show yesterday a little bit and talked about it, and Mitch will do it next week. I apologize. And then, so make sure you guys go check that out. And then also tonight, guys, the instant reacts. I loved it. Nick Houston was on the show on Monday, and he talked about, like, literally, he's like, I always listen to the instant reacts podcast, you know, and I was like, heck yeah, let's go. So, Greg, another good lineup tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to make our best efforts to get the winner of Rock Ridge and Monmouth Roseville on the show. Both coaches have been on in the past, so we'll see if we can make that happen. Maybe a player, who knows? You know,
do you want them just to come to my house? Like if it's Monmouth Roseville, they can just pull the bus up and he can come running upstairs?
I mean, you got to talk to your wife about, like, if you're just inviting the whole football team over.
But she's cool, Greg. Come on now.
Yeah,
she's not listening, but I'm trying to get morning points.
I am interested, like Mitch mentioned, if Wes Hancock can get the job done, they'd be back in the playoff picture, playoff eligible. That'd be a fun interview to get if they can get the win over Bureau Valley. Yeah, and I think looking down the way, it'd be great to get the winner of Stockton and Dupec, right? We've had both of those coaches on over the last couple weeks as well. And the coach we have not had on yet is Lena Winslow's head coach, Rick Aaron. It hasn't worked out on a couple different weeks, but that's a guy that I really like talking to. So we'll have to try to get him on some Friday night as well. But yeah, we'll see how the results start falling in. And you know how it goes. Usually I'm texting you saying in a mad scramble, text this guy, send him an email, send him a link.
Fun.
So
it's
we'll
so
get
much
people
fun.
on.
Yeah, it's so much fun to do. You can't predict who wins. The beauty part, and this will sound a little conceited, but between the three of us, there's not a coach we can't contact, and won't say yes. So that's the beauty part of it. Maybe a Nick Welch. I mean, maybe Nick Welch hasn't been on the show in the Instant Reacts, has he?
Yeah. Nick Welch has been on. Yes, he was on in week 2.
Okay, well, maybe he can be on again. Who knows? So anyways, it'll be a bunch of fun.
I will say this is funny. You guys will appreciate it. I had a Geneseo fan, it was a fan of a Metro Quad Cities team. I won't say which one, but they were asking, how can we never get a coach from the Western Big Six on? And they were just referring to like the last week or two. And I said, we just did. We had Sterling and Geneseo. Oh, no, I'm not talking about those teams.
Yeah.
They meant like United Township, Moline, Rock Island. They meant the Quad Cities Western Big Six, but so I said, we're getting Big Six teams on.
I promise.
Not
we'll
to mention, we've had Morrissey, we've had Welch on too.
Yeah.
So
how many times do we need to have Mike Morrissey on the show? My God. That guy gets too much pub anyways. He's so handsome and dreamy. Anyways, if you have not subscribed to View from the West and you're watching this show, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to reevaluate things and subscribe to View from the West. They're rocking and rolling, getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I know there's the goals and all those kind of things. We'll get us across the finish line and all those kind of things. So join us tonight. Boys, enjoy your Friday evenings. And we'll talk to you guys and Brian Stocking tonight, I'm assuming.
Oh, we got to have him on.
So with that said, and maybe if Rock Riverdale wins, he shaves his head.
I hope he's singing that fight song, baby. That'd be a fun night.
Do that. So, all right, boys, enjoy your Fridays. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks.
All right, we'll have much more right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We'll be back at the Soule Bowl right after this.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need mobile party experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile party experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your mobile party experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. The show on the road once again, third time this week on the road. Of course, Tuesday's show and Wednesday's show were live from Carver Hawkeye Arena. If you guys missed that, go ahead and take a look at it. The Women's Basketball Media Day, Men's Basketball Media Day, a lot of great stuff there. But every Friday we're on the road for high school football, and today's show takes us to the Soule Bowl. We just listened to the boys from View from the West kind of preview a lot of games, including this one here. It's the Maroons and Panthers, and joining me now, a bunch of seniors from United Township. You guys not in school because you guys had some testing and stuff, so yeah. I didn't get to get them out of school. I have fed them already. We've already hammered some Godfather's Pizza. We got some burgers coming next. It's like they're football players or something. But we got a couple joining us on the microphones. I want you to introduce yourself and then introduce everybody so I don't mess it up.
I'm Tristan. I'm a captain. This is Rowan. He's a captain. Josiah, he's a captain. And then Damien, he's a captain. Eli, and then Isaiah, he's a captain.
Fantastic. Obviously a big game for both of you guys. We'll start with you, Tristan. This game is important. I know that 5 win is out there. Before I talk about the rivalry and all that kind of stuff, how much do you guys talk about that? I know there's a goal to get to the postseason, and it's right there in front of you guys.
Yeah, it's our long-term goal, but we just want to focus on each game at a time and take care of what we can do, and then if we just do what we can, it's going to take care of our goals.
Absolutely. When you guys look at this, it is one game at a time. Take me through Moline, and forget the rivalry yet. We'll talk about that. A good football team. What do you guys see from them? What do you guys expect from them?
Yeah, they've had good offense, great defense all year, and we just got to do what we do. Been doing it in practice all week. Just got to keep it up in the game today.
When you guys look at this rivalry, it's a fun one. There's so many great ones in the Western Big Six. I know this is one of them. Tristan, do you embrace it? Do you get excited about it? Do you have to forget about it? Like, what's the balancing act between getting too fired up and focusing?
We definitely enjoy it, but it's just nothing but another game. Obviously, we get hyped about it a lot more than every other game because of the school down the street, but we just stay in within ourselves and still play football.
Do you guys not say the word Moline either?
No.
I'll kind of talk about that. I know that the head coach doesn't do that as well. It is the school down the street. Kind of explain that and talk about that because it's a rivalry thing. I know that.
Yeah, so like our biggest comparison is the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
Yeah.
And they don't say each other's names that week, and so we do it around here.
So you don't say it this week. Do you? I don't think I've ever heard Coach Welch say that word, Moline. I can say it, but do you ever say that word? Besides, if you say like,
I mean, maybe in like basketball season, we're in the student section, but not during football season.
Yeah. You guys have had a really good season. There's been ups and downs like every season. Some close losses along the way. And what I always tell people is you learn maybe more from the losses than the wins sometimes. What did you guys learn about yourselves during that 3-game losing streak where, I mean, we can pinpoint 3-4 plays and it's a 7-0 team instead of a 4-3 team. What did you guys learn about yourselves?
We just need to finish games. Like we would come out hot in the first half and look good, and then second half we would just not we wouldn't finish. So we just learned we had to finish Rock Island. We did that, and we just need to keep it going.
Going through experiences like that, what was that like? And it can do two things. It can separate a team, or it can bring a team together. I feel like it brought this team together. Talk about what that was like, Tristan, in the locker room, those weeks, kind of dealing with adversity. I hate to say this, guys, but life's about adversity.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that as well.
I feel it falls back to like trust in our guys. No matter what we go through, like you're gonna fall into each other, and you guys are just gonna go there every practice, trust each other, and just build off like what we've gone through to get where we want to be.
Take me through this week, because I know it's Moline UT week, and I'm sure school was crazy. Media is stupid and crazy, and View from the West and everything else. We're all talking about it. Do you guys like that? Do you feed into it a little bit, or do you kind of have to separate yourselves when you're doing a week like this, a rivalry week like this?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely different because we have a lot more media, but we just got to focus on practice and each phase of the game, special teams, defense, offense, and we just got to perform.
Tristan, a really good football team's coming in here. Whether we say the name or not, Moline 6-1 on the season, really good football team, undefeated in conference. What do you guys know about them? What do you expect? Because the rivalry is one thing, football's football, and it's a pretty good football team coming to town, isn't it?
Yeah, we expect them to be good at the line of scrimmage. They got some good guys up there. And then we just got to execute, because we know what we can do, and we know that they're a good team, but if we do what we can do, we're going to be a good team as well. So we just got to do what we're coached and perform. I know you guys gave the correct answer when they talk about the playoffs, but you're seniors, and you've watched this program continue to grow. What would it mean for this senior class to play more games? It's been 25 years, which is, I said that to my wife the other day. Not that she's a sports guru, love you, honey. Not that she's watching, but she's like, it's been that long, and I'm like, that school. I'm like, it's been a while. What would it mean as seniors to kind of achieve some things that haven't been done here in a while?
I feel like, so what I always remember freshman year, Coach Otto, first day of practice, he said 20 years it's been since we've been to playoffs, and that's what I think about all the time, and just leaving our legacy here, and if we break that.
Can you talk about this staff, Tristan? And I know your coach Goody's walking away, so we can talk real about him. Nick Welch, he's one of my favorite people. He's so energetic. What has he meant to this program? I've watched a lot of UT football, not throwing any coaches under the bus in years past, but it's been different with him. What is he like day in and day out?
Yeah, I feel like, yes, he's a coach, but he cares more about what you do off the field, and he's not just a coach. He really cares and like about how we're doing outside of school with our family, our jobs. It's not just about football. Like, he really cares, and he's just like another figure for us, like a father figure.
Is he always intense? Do you ever see him like not be intense?
Oh yeah, he gets funny all the time.
Oh, I love that. I want to talk to you guys about this team and this group of guys, because every team is unique and has that personality. What's this team's personality like? We see it on the field and we know all of that. Yeah. What's the personality of this team maybe off the field?
Well, it's definitely a goofy group.
I was going to say, you're smiling already, so I can't wait to hear this.
We definitely got some goofy guys that like to mess around, but our quarterback and we have a quarterback receiver duo. They're like best friends, joking around, and there's like the class clown, the personalities of the group. They keep us going.
I'll ask you, I was going to ask class clown, you almost gave it away, but is there, and we say class clown in the nicest way, but are everybody probably goofy? Are there those goofballs that like just maybe deliver that comedy when you maybe need that comedy? Maybe sometimes when you don't need the comedy, as Coach Welch is watching on.
Yeah, I feel like we get a little bit of both, but like when we're down, a lot of the time it's Tristan getting us back up with the goofy and all that, especially in practice.
A little goofy?
No, I'm a little goofy.
A lot of goofy, I think Coach would probably say. Is there a ritual after games for you guys? Like, I've talked to other teams, like I think it was Rock Ridge goes to B-Dubs. Riverdale went to McDonald's, which was exciting. Yeah. But like, and it's Riverdale, it's Port Byron. You got to do what you can. Is there a tradition what you guys like to do after games?
Yeah, most of the time after games, we'll go get something to eat. It's not, most of the time it's B-Dubs, but sometimes we change it up, maybe McDonald's. If it's a shorter game, we go to our Culver spot.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe after the game, we'll go to like one of the guys' house, have a bonfire, enjoy the win.
Tell me about we're going to focus on Buffalo Wild Wings. Mm-hmm. Please tell me like you're like you guys are hammering the blazing wings or something like that. Oh, and please tell me there's bones. And so tell me your order. What do you get when you go to?
I get the 20 boneless wings. And
they're nuggets.
I know.
Those are adult nuggets.
They're easy to eat.
Okay. Well,
I just put them down real quick.
What sauce?
I usually get a combination. I get buffalo and then honey barbecue and garlic parmesan.
Does anybody? What do you get?
I like that
I
mac.
appreciate the order, but I want like some spice. I want some.
I'm not the guy. I get that mac and cheeseburger.
You can't go to the Buffalo Wild Wings and get a
Dude,
burger.
it's good. It's a good spot.
I will admit, mac and cheese and burger is
Oh,
it's a good
yeah.
thing. Yell it out to me. Like, you get, what do you get?
Honey
B-dubs?
barbecue.
That's all spicy.
barbecue.
I usually get spicy stuff.
Okay.
I like flats. I don't like drumsticks.
Yeah, okay, but you're at least
That
getting
ain't
some,
flat,
but you're
like-
working for it. You're not eating nuggets.
Yeah.
All right, I like.
If I can't get off flats, I'll probably just get boneless.
Okay.
Depends on the day if I'm feeling spicy or not, but usually it's honey barbecue.
Okay.
I usually get like the original hot.
Original hot. Okay, there you go. So the flats, that's intriguing to me. Why not the? I'm
Flats are
opposite.
just easier to eat.
I'm
They're just
opposite.
better.
Like I think so. What we'll do is we'll go to B-dubs sometimes. You can have all the flats, and I'll have all the. He's like, I don't want to go to B-dubs with you. What are you talking about, dude? Take superstitions wise. Is there anybody on this team or team in general? I feel like coach is probably superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
All right, tell me about it.
His biggest superstition is like the jerseys. So the combinations, he tries to keep them the same every year for which team we're playing and where we're playing at.
Okay. You superstitious? Any of these guys? Is there? Take me through that pregame ritual.
Pre-game ritual. We just bump tunes really loud in the locker room, get going.
That means listen to music, right?
Oh yeah.
I gotta make sure I'm old, so I gotta. What's the music choice?
We got a guy called Turbo 309, and he plays a East Moline song. He's from here.
Okay.
We listen to that song.
All right.
And we like some Meek Mill, stuff like that.
I'm gonna just nod my head, coach, like I know what they're talking about, but I'm
Basically
old
a lot
now.
of rap.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. When it comes to the overall look at this team and stuff, and senior year and stuff, has it flown by? Kind of talk to me about that, because these 4 years probably fly by, but senior year, and it does just for us media guys. It's like, hey, we're previewing the season. All of a sudden, it's week 8. Has it flown by? Any of you kind of thought about this is the last time, maybe playing on this field, depending on postseason, all that kind of stuff. But has that sunk in yet?
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like we're just in summer doing 7-on-7s camp and all that. And I know what Coach Welsh says it every day. Just be in the moment, don't look in the future. But it's kind of hard to not look in the future, just knowing we're not going to have as many opportunities as we want.
Sure. I'll leave it with you. Last thoughts on senior year.
Yeah, I can just
and this place for the last time.
Yeah, I can just remember back in our junior Panther days, like our coaches would always say like, this is the group that's gonna change the narrative, and then now we're here and it's week 8 and it's our final time at Soule Bowl, guaranteed. And I was trying to embrace the moment, because it's a nice place to play at. I mean, it's just a great environment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, the good news is the pizza's done. You guys will probably crush that. Burgers are going. Tim, we don't have any mac and cheese to put on them, do we? No, we don't have any mac and cheese, but we'll make do with that. Guys, enjoy some burgers courtesy of MPX and our guy Tim O'Neill. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Do you guys know about the wager between the athletic directors?
Mm-mm.
All right, so earlier both ADs were on, and the losing athletic director has to dress up in the winner's gear and work concession for basketball.
Whoa!
So
High
if
stakes.
you guys want to make sure the Scott Herding likes you guys, I'd play a little extra hard tonight if that works out as well. So we got a lot more to get to. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we've talked about him. Nick Welch will join us here in just a little bit, guys. I gotta stumble through and find all my stuff as well. So I look like I know what I'm doing sometimes, and then sometimes I don't. Plus, I'm gonna turn your microphones off so when you guys say something stupid when we get done, we don't get in trouble. So we got a lot more to get to. Nick Welch and much more right after this. You're watching Off the Air with Matt Randazzo on a Friday right here at the Soule Bowl in East Moline.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois. This is
the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities. We're at the Soule Bowl. Big matchup tonight between Moline and United Township. And joining me now, are you like the second best looking coach in the Western Big Six?
Maybe.
And it's a big distance.
Definitely not first.
Yeah. Nick Welch joins us right now. I want to talk to you about you guys. Those are some special seniors, I know, to you. They did a good job, Coach. Is that what you get to? I mean, if you get to do that every day and put up with them every day, it's not too bad, is it?
It's a great group.
Now they're messing with you right now.
It's a great group. Special in a lot of ways. You know, obviously very mature young men, but they put a lot of time in, and their commitment level is unbelievable, and their buy-in, and the fact that what I love about them is they play for more than just themselves. So when you're selfless and you do the right things, you know, try to do the right things every day. Life has a way of working out for you. And it's cheesy, but I feel like these guys have really bought into the whole idea of like, don't focus on the outcome, focus on the process. And then the more you do that, the more the outcome will stray in your favor. But regardless of the outcome, you got to continue to stick to it. And they've done that. You know, we started at 3-0 and then lost 3 in a row, bounced back last week. Some tough ones in between, some things in our control, some things out of our control. But regardless, they keep showing up and they keep working hard.
This is the dad in me, but I always tell my boys, my dad said the same thing to me. Life isn't about like the things that happen good in life. There's going to be bad things that happen through life all the time. It's how you respond to the adversity in your life that kind of defines you. And I look at this team because it was week after week where I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then you guys continue to fight back, play well, get breakthrough last week, play well. What's it say about these guys? I'm sure that's the message maybe in the locker room with these guys is bad things happen. It's how you respond to them.
Well, I think like just use the Geneseo example as like, you know, all week we talk about if they line up in this formation, don't cover this guy. He's ineligible. And, you know, he ends up scoring and unfortunately the flag wasn't thrown. Mm-hmm. But like perfect example of you did everything you were supposed to do. You trusted what you were being coached and it didn't work out in your favor. But regardless, they continue to do that. And, you know, it's not, if you think all these guys are 2-year, 3-year starters, you know, Tristan, Isaiah, Josiah, and Eli all started as sophomores too. Yeah. So if you go back the last 3 years, how many times have we had almost but not quite, you know? 3 losses last year by a combined 4 points. And then you go back even the year prior, we had some really tough ones, finished 4-5, finished 4-5. So they're not, you know, their commitment isn't circumstantial, you know? And I think that says a lot about them and the parents that raised them, you know? And I think as a coaching staff, we help, but it's about who they are as individuals and who their families are and how they raise them. And we're just reaping the benefits, and we're lucky as coaches to get to coach these kids every day.
No, I really enjoyed that last segment. Some good young men. I knew that. I mean, I've been around and all those kind of things. And that's the beauty about high school sports is that so many times people say, like, what's wrong with the young people today? And I'm like, you get to know them. They're kind of the same as we were. You know, and unfortunately, they're the same way. This week and this rivalry, what's it like? I know we just talk with the boys. We don't say Moline around here. Do you ever say Moline?
No.
Okay, I understand that. What's this rivalry like? And it's a really fun one. I think it's respectful most of the time, but it's heated. It's a rivalry. You want to win it.
I think when you use the word rivalry, intense should also be a word that's associated with that. And, you know, I'll be honest, like, I think it was more of a rivalry on our side when I got hired. One of the things that I learned pretty quickly not growing up around here is that it's not that school down the street, you know, it's kind of been big brother in some ways, definitely in football. And it was a goal of ours to, like, they're not big brother, they're brother, you know, and they're a very good football team, and we know how well coached they are and how hard their kids work. I mean, shoot, a lot of our kids grew up with them. Some of their kids grew up here and went there, and then vice versa. So I think in the last couple of years there's been a greater mutual respect. Early on there was some chippy stuff that would happen on both sides, but it seems like the last couple of years it's been a pretty clean game, and it's just hard-fought, physical, tough kids. And I think these kids are really – I felt it on Monday when we showed up. We had Monday off from school. We did an 8:30 practice, and there was just a level of intensity and energy on a Monday that we haven't had. And again, I'm not going to say it's just because of the school down the street. I also think that, unfortunately, they're thinking about the bigger picture. And what we've told them is, like, that just creates more pressure and anxiety. Don't worry about winning. Focus on what it takes to win. And I feel like we've had a good week of practice. I think that always helps than a bad week of practice. But at the end of the day, we got to go out and play the game.
Now I have to ask the dumb question because you just almost answered it. But there is that 25 years without being in a postseason, all that kind of stuff. And win 5 could come tonight, could come next week, obviously as well. Hopefully playing against Alleman. It's hard not to focus on that. How do you get them to not focus on that, or to, I don't want to say focus on it, but to diminish it a little bit and not be the reason why you're going out there every week?
Well, I just think that in the past, I feel like I might have. Those couple of years we finished 4-5. I think as their head coach, I don't think I was delivering the best message. I think I put that pressure on them. So if they're going to think about it, that's on them, but we're not going to talk about it. Honestly, we haven't talked about it all year. I said the first day of off-season workouts, I'm going to tell you something, and then we're never going to talk about this again. Because last year I told them, we have enough talent to beat everyone on our schedule, but we don't have enough talent to just show up and win. And then I felt this year we've got enough talent to beat everyone on our schedule, and we have the ability to do something very special. Now, obviously, not all of our goals are achievable at this point, but, somebody said to me, a close friend, at the end of the day, the main goal in high school football is to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And there's teams that make the playoffs that don't win their conference and go on a run, and there's a lot of pride to be had in that. But you got to focus on one play at a time. And I know, again, that's cheesy, but if for 1 minute you're looking at the scoreboard and it's in your favor and you let up, or it's not in your favor and you don't have the right mindset, then it can get away from you. So we've kind of lived through this. Sterling 21-3, and honestly should have been 28-3. We had a wide open guy, we missed him, and the next play we threw a pick. And then, Geneseo, how that one shook out, and then even Quincy had an opportunity to kick a game-winning field goal with, less than 20 seconds on the clock. It didn't work out, but I feel like that helps teams that are playing close games. It helps them later on in the year.
Yeah.
And I hope that helps us tonight in what I anticipate to be a very tough physical game.
Coach, you mentioned teams that don't win conference and make runs. I'll look at just Princeton last year, and that's a school that always wins the conference championship. They didn't last year. They played in the state quarterfinals. That's the beauty part of high school football. Yes, there's those goals, but there are always other goals that you can get to as well. I want to talk about this game because the rivalry is there. It's a good football team. What do you see on film from them? Obviously, one loss in the season, perfect in conference play. Just Moline in general, it's going to be a challenge tonight.
Well, first off, they're very sound in the special teams phase. They've made a lot of momentum-changing plays. There was 4 big plays in the Rocky game. Whether it was a punt return for a touchdown, a block punt for a touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown. They converted a fake punt against Quincy. They blocked another punt for a touchdown. That is one area where, you can see how focused that team is. Defensively, I think it all starts with their defensive line. They're a really good group. They were good last year, and a lot of those guys are back. They got some size, they got some physicality, and they got some speed. And I think those 3 D linemen who are rotating at any given point, because I know some of their guys are rotating on the offensive line, kind of sets the tone for that defense. So that they're good players across the board, but I think the up front is what it makes them special.
Yeah.
Offensively, they've always had running backs. They've always had a good offensive line, and for the most part, they've always had a pretty good quarterback, and I think that's true this year. The biggest difference is the speed they have in the backfield. So it seems like they always have a thumper, and they had a speed guy. There's times where they got 3 fast guys, and the ball hits really fast, and you got to be disciplined and read your keys, because I think Coach Morrissey's doing a really good job of using eye candy in the wing tee to get people's eyes in the wrong spot, and then those guys are hitting it so fast, and if your eyes are in the wrong spot, they're gone before you know it. So we want to tip our cap and respect our opponent, but at the same time, we believe that if we can be a disciplined football team and be assignment sound, that we're a pretty good football team too.
I love your athletic directors. They have a wager on the game. Losing athletic director dresses up in the opposing team's gear and works at the concession stand for the basketball game. I think it's a great idea. Did you get any input, any say in like how this went down?
No, I found out this morning.
Okay.
So went to Coach Harding's office, and he basically said, hey, I'm not working in their concession stand. I said, what are you talking about? And he was just like, if we lose, I got to work in a Moline concession stand, and I don't want to do that. And I was like, okay. So what happens if we win? He goes, oh, he's working concession stands at the Den. And I was like, even better.
Game on.
And we need to get him a shirt, a nice black and orange shirt. It could be a basketball shirt or football shirt. It don't mind me. I know Coach Say would probably like basketball, but seeing Mr. Thompson struggling to put on that black and orange would be a great pleasure.
Yeah. You look at, and I asked them, and both of them, and I say this to people all the time, coaching matters. And you look at United Township and Moline, both schools, they're winning a lot in like every sport. And you go, I remember last year during the spring, starting the show and into the summer, it's like I'm having like every United Township coach on, not just Coach Welch, but it's Coach Say, and then baseball, and then track, and it's like coaching matters, and that's what both athletic directors kind of pointed to. But flip that around, it helps for you guys when you have athletic directors and administrations. Yes, coaching matters, but it's a two-way street, isn't it?
I think that when you look at the success of a school, you have to look at, is everyone moving in the same direction? And I think there's examples around here when you can pinpoint who's not working in the same direction and who is. Mm-hmm. And I can't speak on other schools, but I know how great our administration is. It starts with Dr. Mall and then into our principal, Matt Wright, and Shannon Miller, Kai Killam, Matt Hutchins, and really the whole school. It's a community effort. But when your superintendent, your principal, your assistant principal, your other assistant principal, your curriculum, and those four are all former coaches, and then your curriculum director's dad is a college and high school Illinois Hall of Fame coach. Yeah. They get it. And it's a gift and a curse because they get it and there's expectations. We embrace those expectations as a school, our program included. But at the same time, like when things come up, which is inevitable, whether that's parent discrepancies or, hey, we got to we need more equipment or we replace this. Like they understand. And I can just say like how grateful I am to be in the position I am. I say this with all my heart. There's no place I'd rather be. Mm-hmm. We're invested here. I told you I live right down the street from here.
Don't be telling people where you live.
Yeah, that's fine. I live right down the street from here, and this is where we want to be.
Yeah.
And I'm the luckiest guy that I get to coach these kids, coach with the coaches, and work for a great administration.
I can't chat with you without asking about that amazing wife of yours and the kids. How are the kids? Are they crazy? Are you getting any sleep? Is she getting sleep? I know it's the way this works. So how's life?
We're actually pretty lucky. Around 2 months, Brady started sleeping in his bassinet in his own room through the night.
Look at you.
Yeah. Now my little Hurricane Harper.
I thought we'd see little Hurricane.
She would be screaming the whole time, and Mom didn't want her to. She would love it though. I know that. And soon, I think. As they get older and they can be involved more, I think
love it.
We're gonna love it.
My kids, they grew up on the sidelines with me. They went to games with me. In fact, and he probably won't love me saying this, but my oldest Charlie was the one that when I said, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," he was like, "Really?" Because he got to meet the Chasen Randalls, meet the Ethan Haps, go on the sidelines. I mean, our Saturdays would be like going from game to game to game, and it was awesome. And then I told him what I'm doing. He's like, "Dad, you buried the lead. Like that sounds cool too." He's like, "You should have led with that," and then told me about the other stuff. You're gonna get to do that, and it's a great program for those kids to grow up around, isn't it?
Yeah, and like Hurricane, we call her Hurricane's name, Destruction's her game. She's acting a little more too than 19 months or year and a half, but she's a blessing too. It's just. You don't know until you do it.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, you don't know a love like a parent's love, and you're like, yeah. And then you have that, and it's like, you're vulnerable because you're always worried about their safety and security, but at the same time, it's the best thing in the world, and I have the best wife in the world. She's great. She gets it.
Yeah.
I think every couple weeks there's hey, dude, I know it's football, but come on, and I totally understand. And this past Monday we got to go to Tanner's Apple Orchard, about an hour away, and it was it filled my cup. Yep. It was spending time with her and the kids, and it was just us four, and they were good on the way there, and they were good on the way home, and They did great while we were there.
Yeah.
And it's like moments like those that where you kind of can take a step back and get a reality check that, we're very blessed and we're very lucky, and I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, well, there's no better way to end it. Best of luck tonight. Get your guys healthy, stay healthy, all that kind of stuff. Get the job done either this week, next week, however it is. Can't wait to watch this team in the postseason. I had you guys as my pick to win the Western Big Six, so I'm okay with not having that happen, but we got to win some playoff games or a game or something like that.
Yeah.
So get after it. I appreciate you as always.
Thanks for doing this.
Right.
Welcome to the best place in the Quad Cities, and go Panthers.
I love it. We got much more to get to. We'll do some picks with Tim O'Neill and wrap things up right after this. You're watching Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. If I shouldn't turn my microphone off first, I should turn coaches off. It's a work in progress. We got more to get to right after this.
Give me the keys. Learning to drive can be stressful for both the student and, yes, the parent as well. Relax. There's an easy way to avoid the stress. Skiles Driving School in East Moline has been helping new drivers hit the road with confidence for over 20 years. Whether you're a teen earning your first license or an adult looking for behind-the-wheel training, we've got you covered. Their certified instructors are patient, experienced, and use modern vehicles equipped for safety and comfort. From classroom instruction to real-world driving, we make learning safe, affordable, and even fun. Call 309-278-0098 or visit skylesdriving.com. Skiles Driving School. Get in, buckle up, drive your future forward.
Are you looking to take your next party, tailgate, or golf outing to the next level? You need Mobile Party Experience. MPX features 3 top-of-the-line party trailers equipped with all the amenities you need to party like a rock star. Smart TVs, Yeti coolers, JBL sound systems, grills, bathrooms, and much more. Mobile Party Experience is an experience like no other. Check out my-mpx.com or call 563-514-1470 and book your Mobile Party Experience today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Friday in the Quad Cities over at the Soule Bowl. Rocky, why do I keep saying Rocky? Boys, why do I keep saying Rocky? Moline and UT tonight at the Soule Bowl, big game in the Western Big Six, joined now by Tim O'Neill with Mobile Party Experience. We were just talking. We always talk about football. This is fun for us every week because they're eating burgers, Godfathers, and thank you to Andy Furman, brought some pizzas over. It's the tailgating atmosphere that we kind of hoped that would happen when we chatted probably at Panera like a couple months ago. Like I think it's worked out well, and I love watching those guys being happy.
Yeah, of course. And, so when they have a smile on their face and they're giving me the thumbs up that the burgers are good, or as the kids say, they're fire. I mean, I felt good about it.
He sits down and he goes, my burgers are good.
Yeah, so I could tell they liked it. They enjoyed them.
Yeah,
so.
No, and for the most part, the team we feed
does
wins.
Pretty well.
I don't want to throw Riverdale on the bus last week, but that's probably the only one that hasn't.
Well, I'll have to talk to Guy about
I think
that.
in general, every time I've come to a school besides Riverdale and they played well and they almost won last week. I want to do some picks with you, have some fun with you before we get off and run in here. College football-wise, it's a weird week because Iowa State's off, Illinois is off. Iowa still plays. I know you have a trail up in Iowa City, I think every weekend, so I know you're heading up there. Iowa, Penn State, night game. Penn State just fired their coach, man. Can we talk about that for a second? And were you surprised? Middle of the season, they were in the semifinals 6 months ago. They were ranked second in the nation a month ago, and they fired their coach.
Unless there's something that hasn't been released that we don't know about yet, right?
Yeah.
But, however, I just hope that I feel like the landscape of college football is turning into Nebraska, where 9-10 wins isn't good enough, and then you spiral for at least a decade. I don't know. As far as the game goes, I mean, I'll tell you what, though, sometimes those distractions like that can be a blessing and a curse. I do feel that it could be a tough one for the Hawks. I feel like for whatever reason, teams tend to rally when something bad happens. It makes me a little nervous, but I'm still going to go with the Hawks.
It's funny because I like the media, and a lot of my media friends were like, when they fired him on Sunday, was like, oh, that's probably not a good sign for Iowa, because sometimes, and I've had some buddies tell me like that team had quit. And they're still 5-star talent, and they quit for that guy. Maybe they don't for this. But with that being said, like I also feel that like that's a team that you don't know who your head coach is moving forward. You're kind of in a weird area, weird spot. You've lost 3 straight. I think if Iowa punches them in the mouth early on, like I think if Penn State takes a lead, gets in it, then they suddenly think, okay, we're back, and it could. But I think if Iowa gets out to a good start, which I think they will, Iowa will win once again. And they played really good against Wisconsin. I came away from that Wisconsin game saying, yeah, Wisconsin's not very good, but that was Iowa football. And that's Kirk Ferentz. The teams get better throughout the season under that staff and those guys. And they win this game. They get to 5-2 with the Gophers coming next week and then a bye week. I mean, they could get to 6-2 with a bye week, and then things get a little interesting. So I'll go with the Hawkeyes as well.
Do need to throw that disclaimer out there. If you're a gambler and you tend to bet on games, don't listen to me at all. Because
I'm going to go back and look and see how we've done. I'm just going to say we've done really well.
I think I'm over 500, but I don't think
anybody's going to go back and check.
Yeah.
So then, and then let's just get right to the NFL, because, like I said, those 3 teams aren't playing. I'm trying to think. There is an interesting game I'll talk about tonight: Wisconsin and Minnesota. It's a Friday night game in the Big Ten. Not Wisconsin, Nebraska and Minnesota. And you kind of just talked about Nebraska. These are 2 teams that I'm annoyed with the Nebraska fan base, because you just mentioned like if they think they're still the national champions from back in the 80s, and I don't like PJ Fleck. I think he's just a clown. It's at Minnesota. Thoughts on? And I'm throwing these at you without you even giving me
I have zero prep, right?
Nebraska, Minnesota tonight.
You know, I still think Matt Rhule's a great coach. I mean, obviously he's getting, he didn't exactly deny having an opportunity at Penn State. So yeah, that's such a terrible spot to put him into. It's like, come on, man, you got a job to do right now, right? I mean, everybody wants to be courted, loves to be courted, and wants to be wanted, right? But it's just that's tough. And I'll take Nebraska. I think they'll get it done.
Yeah, I think I'll go the other way. I'll go Minnesota, just because I want them coming off a high when they come to Kinnick Stadium next week. So I'm always thinking contractually with my Hawkeyes and doing that as well. A good reminder time. The Hawkeye Tailgate Show will be live in Krause Family Plaza. We'll kick off the pregame radio tomorrow. So if you're out at the Iowa game tailgate and stop by Krause Family Plaza at 4 o'clock, say hi. Pat Anger will be on. Marcus Pascal will be on. It's the A&F game as well. So we'll have a lot of fun things to get to tomorrow on the radio and YouTube and all that kind of stuff as well. NFL-wise, the Bears are 3-2. And they can have a legitimate chance to go 4-2 on the season if they can knock off a very winnable game against the Saints. Do they get the job done at home against a not very good Saints team? Are they 4-2 after all this is said and done?
I keep picking against them, and they keep finding ways to win. I'm like,
maybe I should. Last week too,
I did, and then they kicked the field. I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, that was about the most Chicago thing they could have done, and then they get on the good side of it. But yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll pick the Bears. I'll take the Bears.
I'm going to pick the Bears, because if I don't, people are really going to think I hate them. Yeah. But I will say this. It's very Bearsy to get some wins and then to, play bad at home or give one back. I'll say this. Their coaching is different. And I think they're winning games they're not used to win. They don't normally win in the past. Yeah. They've taken the ball away like 10 times in the last 3 weeks. If you continue to have that many type of takeaways, it doesn't matter what the offense, quarterback, anything looks like. That's going to help out a ton. I'll go Bears with that one as well. A good game on Monday Night Football. My Lions at 4-2, 5-1 Tampa Bay. They go to Detroit. The Lions have every secondary dude out, including Brian Branch, who punched a dude. I don't know how the Bucs keep doing it. They've been trailing in every 5 or 6 games. They've been trailing in the fourth quarter, but they still won the game. Your thoughts on Monday night?
Bucs all day. Sorry, brother. I got it.
Are you a Bucs guy?
I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. The guy wins. He's a baller. He's a great teammate. Again, I got that photo with him after the game, the win at when he was with the Rams.
He's
with
probably
the
MVP right now.
Dude, he's so fun to watch. He's got swag. He's that dude. He's that dude that you want as a teammate, but you don't want to play against.
It's crazy that Cleveland can't find a quarterback, and he was there. It's crazy that Carolina can't find a quarterback, and he was there. I do like Baker Mayfield. With that being said, it's Monday Night Football in Detroit, and that team is just a whole bunch of pissed off right now. And I know there's some secondary guys out. A lot of receivers out for Tampa Bay as well. I think they get Mike Evans back, but I'll go Lions. get a win, they get to 5-2. Then they have a bye week, and then the Randazzo family is going up there for the Vikings game. So I would take a loss on Monday night if I could guarantee a win when we're there, so I don't have to deal with cranky kids on the way home and all that kind of stuff as well. But I'll go Lions as well. I'm trying to think of who the Packers play, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. I might have to look on the. It's a good matchup.
While you're looking, how about that game last night?
How crazy was that?
Great football game.
And it's amazing. Joe Flacco looks like he's the oldest guy in the world.
What did I tell you last week about Joe Flacco?
Mm-hmm.
I watched him break my heart when he was at Delaware and beating my Northern Iowa Panthers, and he went down. And man, that was fun to watch though for him.
No, absolutely. And you look at it too. It helps if you're throwing to two of the best wide receivers in football. So he went from the Cleveland who didn't have any wide receivers to now that. Let's do. The Vikings have a good game, too, as well. Green Bay at Arizona. So a road game, but, like, when you go to, like, Arizona and Vegas and L.A. Rams, and you're a good franchise like the Packers, unfortunately, are, there's going to be a whole bunch of green and white in that field as well. So I'll go Packers as well with that game as well. Yeah. The Vikings have a good one as well. This will be a good time to remind people that the Nest Guest is up a little bit later than normal, but Nest Guest is up and rocking and rolling. So less time to do it. But it's been a busy week, but get to the link. Congratulations to last week's winner, Dave Short. I know him well. He's my brother-in-law, full disclosure. But Dave won last week as well. So a bunch of tiebreakers. So make sure you fill out your tiebreaker correctly because that is important. A lot of weeks come down to the tiebreakers. But once again, thank you to Hungry Hobo for allowing us to do and helping us do Nest Guests. And Nest will be back. He's on a cruise. Although I was telling you, he was going on a cruise, and the hurricane made it so he wasn't cruising. So he's now in Canada? He lives a good life, I'll tell you that. He lives a good life. I probably got that wrong as well. I'm trying to find, because the Vikings do have an intro. Oh, Eagles and Vikings in Minnesota. We'll end up with that one.
Eagles bounce back.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think it just simply goes down to until Minnesota figures out who their quarterback is. I'm going to go with the guy who won the Super Bowl last year instead of not Sam Darnold, excuse me, but Carson Wentz. Although an interesting Carson Wentz return game with the Eagles as well.
Rising up, brother.
Tell people like everything they see behind us, the grill. I'm powering the show because of the internet that comes along with the trailers, which I think is a huge thing as well. There's a bathroom in there. There's you name it, the TVs, all that kind of stuff. Tell us about how they can get this at their tailgate or party or anything you want as you come up through the fall. I know in November there's still some dates available.
Yep, we got some dates left in November. That'll be our last month. We pretty much shut this thing down after Thanksgiving just because weather. Now, if Mother Nature decides to cooperate and Hawks go on a run and some way find their way to the Big Ten championship game, I did have people take these to Indianapolis.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's fun too. We've got it set up and structured that way. So yeah, just go on the website or give us a call there on the phone number and we'll get you set up.
MPX.com. Yeah. Go check it out. Tim O'Neill, thank you for as always. And these guys are happy over there. They've eaten Godfathers and Tim O'Neill special burgers as well. So it's been another fun show. It's been a great week. If you missed anything, on Tuesday and Wednesday we're in Iowa City for basketball media days. The women's show is one of our most watched shows ever, which is exciting as well. The men's show did well as often as well. So we'll be back on Monday. Pat Anger always on Mondays. We'll have a ton to talk about right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Enjoy your weekend, and if you're in Iowa City tomorrow and you're by Crouse Family Plaza, stop by and say hi. We'd appreciate it. And thanks so much. We'll see you guys next week.